The script you are about to hear are excerpts from Facebook written by Julie's students and friends on the day she passed. I have very few good qualities, but somehow in your wisdom you saw a couple and cultivated them. You taught us all so many things about life, about being a better human being. I was bullied mercilessly, physically, emotionally, verbally, and yes, even sexually throughout my life by almost everyone. Julie changed that. She showed this once loser that everyone is significant. She saved this girl's life. I informed Julie of my gender change, and after pledging her full support, she ended her chat with, "You are loved." She made everyone feel important, special, and capable. She taught me about Monty Python, how to stand up for myself, and that life was always more fun if you were speaking in a British accent. How she could end every message with, "You are loved," is so touching. I hope Miss G knows how many people loved her. I learned that it wasn't just a theater program, but a family. That Miss G had built it with a foundation of knowing that we are each loved. Everyone was welcome into that family. The more, the better. You created a place where to this day was the most special experience of camaraderie and fellowship I've ever known. You took kids from every single social group, threw them together, and made something beautiful, time after time. Thank you for giving me a home in high school, for teaching me leadership skills, getting me over my fear of public speaking, and ultimately leading me to my calling. I love you, and I am forever in your debt. Doctors have never forgotten that Julie created Mr. Sim's stem cell t-shirts when I was treated for cancer. We gave them to my friends, my nurses, and my doctors. She taught us life skills to these awkward teenagers at their most impressionable time, with open arms and an open heart that made everyone feel important, valuable, and individual. She taught me how to interview for a job, how to shake hands, and how to be comfortable with ourselves. Julie was the best teacher I have ever known. She molded us because she did life with us. She showed us through her example the rewards of investing in others, taking chances, and the value of relationships. She pushed us to be silly, have fun, to believe in ourselves, and that you can never have too many keys. Do you remember that gigantic key ring? I bet that on it there was a key to heaven. I can only conclude that God is planning an amazing production in heaven and needed a director for it. Julie, our love follows you to heaven where you are dancing and singing and organizing the biggest circle ever. I look forward to our reunion in heaven. Won't take long to find you. I'll just listen for that marvelous voice. By Laura Laprelle, theater teacher. As I turned my key to the auditorium lobby door, I thought immediately of all of the years Julie did the same thing. This is the house that Julie built. When I started this job, I was terrified that I couldn't fill her shoes. She didn't want me to. She wanted me to be my own unique self. She gave me room to figure it out on my own, while still encouraging me through the years. I thank her for trusting me and for handing down a program rich in tradition, high standards, and love. Julie saw something in me and believed in me when I didn't really believe in myself at all. I know I'm not the only one. You taught me how to live outside my comfort zone, and you gave so many kids a great place to go. I'm thankful for the rare times Julie coerced me out of the booth and up on stage. She was a director, a life coach, friend, supporter. So many of us at Sunny Slope went on to professional careers because she believed in us and pushed our boundaries. We are all her children, and she our mother. Okay, help me complete the following sentences. There are no small parts, only, small actors. Act enthusiastic and you will be enthusiastic. If you can see the red seats can see you. Who remembers the lesson she taught us on job interviews? Even your negative attributes have to be positives in disguise. By Wesley Fauché, now acting on Broadway. She gave me the confidence to be a professional performer. She got to see me perform in my first professional show. That's what she was to all of us, a huge supporter for all her students. Tonight, I dedicate my Broadway performance of Matilda the musical. I wouldn't be on this stage without her, and I am so grateful to have known her. Mrs. G defined my childhood. I was an insecure kid, and high school was a freaking tough experience. She made me feel like I belonged and like I mattered. She helped shape me into the confident adult and fixed. My teacher, my mentor, my advisor, but most of all, my friend. Mrs. G was more than a high school theater teacher. She was the matriarch of our band of misfit teenage souls made luminous by her steadfast encouragement. Of us, we have one teacher who believed in us, corrected us, challenged us, and who believed in us. For those of us who didn't have the most idyllic home life, we had a teacher who became role model and surrogate parent. Mrs. G was my first manager, the first person who deeply trusted me with a significant leadership role, the coach of the highest performing team I've been on, and one of my favorite high school teachers. I'm so thankful to have called her my teacher, colleague, and friend. Let this be the pause to reset our lives and priorities, to remember the great people in our lives who are now angels and how we are carrying on their legacy. Let us be reminded not to get caught up in things that don't matter, in negativism or in gossip, but instead to focus on loving and encouraging each other. Mrs. G is 100% the reason I look for the bright side in everything, and why I see the best in everyone, even to a fault. Thank you for loving me. Anyone who knew Julie was changed in many ways. She made the quietest mice into the most fierce of lions. She brought out the person we were all hiding inside, and she made us realize our potential for greatness. She pushed us to the point of frustration, knowing that the outcome would be worth the discomfort. There are people that God puts in our path who can see our potential, what we could become, when we are blinded. Mrs. G was that for me. When I thought I was useless and worthless, when I was convinced that I was no good, when I was insecure and full of fear, when I was just a kid who didn't know what to do with the talent God gave me, that was the moment God gave me the gift of Mrs. G. She showed me that there were no boundaries except the ones we place on ourselves. Thank you for showing me what a strong woman looks like. Thank you for encouraging me to never settle for less than the best. I was blessed because I was loved by you. More circle, one more moment on stage, one more moment of her laughter filling up. Julie, we've all been changed for good. This is your legacy.